Hi, welcome everyone to my week 7 summary of my critical assignment titled Organization, Leadership, and Culture. Now, ethics can vary from organization to organization. Some places might weigh heavier on the law, for example, police departments, and others may be on more social aspects of things, maybe like more of a city hall or public works or planning. And so it does really rely upon the type of training in each organization to make things work. And in my opinion, a successful ethics program is based on a combination of compliance and value-based. But not only that, it can if done successfully, it can create a culture within the organization, and then that would sort of be sustained by the leaders and also the organization itself, depending on its structure and what the developed culture is from within. Now, the combination of compliance and value-based training can come in different forms, right? Come from a transactional area where it's more forced, or it's for like a tit for tat, or it can be transformational where you can sort of have a positive aspect to it, and that's if you combine both compliance and value based. If it's strictly on its own, then you'll have more of one side than the other, transactional versus transformational. Now, within any organization, it's a lot of it is based on contractarianism that I will be basically supporting on as far as the organization goes. And the training can be also duty based, right? Or consequence based, depending on what type of organization is developing the training. Another important thing is frequency, right? A lot of agencies, particularly the one that I'll be writing on, um, doesn't have much frequency of training as other cities do. I think it's probably at most twice a year, and that's important to have a higher frequency so that all the employees are reminded of what's needed. And last, I'll probably look into style. Any scenario-based or role-play interactive-based training is always better, right? It's more inclusive. People tend to, have a sort of a buy-in to it, and they feel, as to feel part of the organization. So that really sticks to everybody a little bit better. And going on towards the organization, as I mentioned itself, it creates that environment, right? It can help create the environment, the vision, and the mission for everybody to sort of follow. And that's important when it comes to ethics training, right? We all need to sort of go in one direction as an organization. And next, we have leadership. Leadership is a very important role when it comes to ethics and ethical culture within the organization. The leaders are the ones that sort of creates the philosophical aspect of things, right? Because they have different traits, whether they use virtue or the ethics triangle, or if they have more of a utilitarianism point of view. That leadership basically uh, perpetuates everybody else's thinking, right? Because they're the ones that staff looks upon, and sort of perpetuates the ethical training there. And finally, if done right, with the right combination and with the help and nurture of the organization, and also with the right leadership involved that can perpetuate this type of ethical environment, you create a culture within the organization. And once that is done, then it creates that inertia that we sort of read about, right? It sustains that ethical behavior once a cultural set. And that culture could vary, right? It could have a culture that's more justice-based or principle-based or even virtue-based, right? But if done well, the right type of culture can be maintained and sustained within the appropriate agency or organization, and that in turn creates efficiency and effectiveness in serving the public. And so, in closing, that's a brief summary and outline of my critical assignment, and I welcome everybody to sort of critique me or add to this. I look for any and all sorts of help is welcomed. Thank you. Have a great week.